All right. Good morning. Or good afternoon, actually. So today I'm going to be trying to draw some maps, and again, this is like a new skill I'm having to learn. So we're going to see how it goes. Here I am melting in the sun, although it's not too bad right now, and doing something I'm not very good at to what is probably going to be quite a small audience. So yeah, that's my life. But yeah, basically, it's like if I can get to the point, like I have other games in mind where I want to be able to draw maps. Like I could commission someone else to do this, but I feel like I should give it a crack. Um, so we're going to start with mountains, and actually we should never really be on full black. So let's be on. We need to pick a specific one. Specific, easy to remember number, basically. And first step. Okay, and so where are we at? So I've started to draw this map, which at the moment looks like a children's drawing. Like it, but I can sort of see how if I started to really fill it out, add shade, add a bit of texture to the grass and stuff like that, then over time it could become a nicely functional map. And what I've decided to do is actually to build it in Unity. I'm just kind of building it in a 3D space that I know, which is really going to help me to, like, the main thing is like render sort order. So it's like if as I build this, I can't like just easily, like, this is 2D. So if I want this tree to be in front of that tree, I have to make sure I spawn them in the right order. Or make like loads of separate layers, which is just going to be a pain in the ass. So I think the best thing is actually for me to build it in the 3D space that I know. I'm sure there are other ways that artists do this, but yeah, I'm gonna export this. I'm gonna take each mountain. I'm gonna get like 3 different mountains, and I'm gonna copy and paste them throughout to give this like mountain range, rather than trying to draw it and again making sure that the sorting order is right. Like I've done that here, but it just makes it really hard to go back and edit. So yeah, I think I'm just like playing to my strengths a bit, working in 3D space, and kind of like not relying on myself to get it right the first time, being able to shuffle things around a bit easier, and making it so that yeah, just like rather than drawing lots of different mountains, like drawing like a proper nice hand-drawn mountain range, but to just copy and paste some assets, just like a true, like, a game. Makes life a bit easier. So we don't have to get the colors spot on first try, but yeah, so I think straight away this might come down too low if we want to make the most out of the space. So yeah, we're just going to get this dark mountain color, and then we're going to get a lighter mountain color and put it on the left side, and we're going to say the sun is coming from top left, and we stay consistent with that for any kind of shading that we end up doing. So then we get a lighter color, and I'll show you the map that I'm really taking inspiration from is this one. I just like the way it looks. I like the simplicity. I like what they've chosen to include, like little houses even along the road. Like you can imagine, this is a small little village. I think this works nicely. And yeah, just kind of like the general way that they've drawn the mountains with this kind of line up here with the shade on the left. They've made a hard line there. I've opted to not use a hard line. And then the hills being a similar thing, but definitely without the hard line, just a little bumps. And what that should hopefully do is start to give a bit of texture to this, but also I can do things like actually use the grass texture. We'll see how this goes. This is going to be an interesting experiment. So the first thing, let's get 3 different mountains. Like that. kind of doing a similar thing, you see. Yeah, and I've taken inspiration from some other maps as well, but yeah, this sort of seems to work, like gives the mountain a bit of depth without like overdoing it and making something that I can't really replicate. I mean, you could sort of imagine maybe like sort of rocky faces, but I think that just ends up being noisy. So we want to make another one of these, and we just kind of want to do it again. Do it again 3 different times. It doesn't matter that, again, like all of this can be replaced, but what we're doing is we're creating the space to edit in, you know? We're just creating like the base clay with which to mold. Yeah. And they should all have like a fairly smooth belly, I guess you call it. And that's, yeah, I think that odd pixel is fine. So then we fill that in, and then we do our lighter bit. Sort of down the middle. And we kind of want to match the contours of the outside to kind of stay consistent with the shape. See, that's too far along. Tool. Yeah, I mean that looks a bit different. Again, we can replace that. Maybe these are too wobbly, but we'll do one more. Is this indeed? Yeah, it is. Good. Right, so we'll do one more mounting, and maybe we'll try and do like a double peak mountain, like one that's got a bit more shape to it, perhaps. So we'll do like a sort of, let's get the starting point right. My neighbour's singing Sean Paul in the garden. He's not the kind of guy you'd imagine to usually be singing Sean Paul. I can hear him singing. Okay, so I guess we can do something a bit interesting with the shading here. So this one would be like, and then how would this be like? Maybe this line would come down a bit more. We could do more than 3, but we're sort of doing the starting point, and then we would have another bit of light there. Let's go with that for now. Yeah, like ripples in the land. Okay. So then we'll export that. Scale, normal scale. And then we go projects, survivors. Don't know why we're back at the root menu. Sprites, map, and we're calling it mountains. Okay, and let's do this first step, and then we'll see how we get on. So we go sprites. I go where I just made the sprite. Grab it, and then do the. I can select a preset. I don't know what's taking so long. Maybe my computer's melting in the heat, and then we go multiple. Apply that. Open the sprite editor, and then we want to make slice type by cell size, and then we just get, I remember it was 96 in height, and I can't remember exactly what the width was. 148. Well, it won't go any higher than that, so that's nice. So then we slice that up, apply it. Oh, one thing we should do. So when we make the slices, we make the pivot at the bottom. And that should put all the pivots at the bottom. And then, so there we have a mountain. And what we're going to want to do is certainly make prefabs. And I don't know if we should, if it's fair just to drop the sprite in, or that we should, whether we should make like a root object. I think we can probably just pop the sprite in. And we'll do the same thing that we do in the main game, where it's like everything's just tilted 45 degrees. Where is that? So let's remove it back in Z so we can sort of see it. And we can sort of start to see how this is going to piece together. Although we should do a little bit of thought to size. So this grass, can we make it like... Yeah, can we make it smaller? But still with the same tiling. Feels like it's going down, doesn't it? But it's not. That's really weird. Okay, let's put that to like 1, let's say. And then as we're looking in this scene, I mean, the grass is probably one of the things that I'm gonna want to like mess with a bit. Let's think about the height of the camera, and we're gonna want, we basically want yeah, I mean, that's, I think if we say that sprites are at 111, then yeah, that makes sense. So if the camera's at, let's say 4, I guess it would go between like 1 is like really close. So let's just put it at 3 for now, and imagine that we're zoomed quite in because we are doing detail, and we'll just put it back 3 as well, just so that things that appear at 0 appear to be, and I think we're not going to want this particular spot at 0, but let's just make it here anyway. So a few mountains together. I can actually go in the scene and just, oh yeah, so we're going to want to just rotate these down to 45 as well, and then we just need to place them. Huh. Hopefully from, oh really? Oh, that sucks. That was kind of the whole point of me doing this, was but surely, how is that correct? That doesn't make any sense. Why would that appear to come in front of that? Like it, because I think it's the thing is if it's closer to the camera, but this is in no way closer to the camera than this one. So why? Like it has to be quite far behind it in order to like register. Although this one happens straight away. So what's going on there? That is odd. So this one has to be quite far behind to register as being behind, which absolutely sucks. Why is that? I want to see if I can fix that. I mean, I can definitely work around it, but I don't understand why, because I thought it was like whichever one is closer to the camera. And this is definitely like that gizmo, and it would be from the center. This gizmo is closer to the camera than this one. Definitely. Hmm. But then this one seems to have less. Yeah, see, this one also needs to be quite considerably far behind it. But for some reason kind of comes past the back one at the correct point. So we'll just have to see. Okay, well, let's make prefabs, and we'll make a whole prefab folder for the map, because we're going to have a lot of them, thick and fast. So let's call this, let's just call them what they are for now. And these are all prefabs. So that as we copy and paste these, if we were to change one, it changes all of them. So let's just try and do a scene where we can kind of dot these mountains around. Oh, hey Valplume, how's it going? Good to see you again. Yeah, it's been a while. How's your game going? How's your Plants vs Zombies like? This bloody one. Okay, no, they're all fine so far. Okay, they could be a bit closer together. Nice, good to hear. Okay, so if we sort of say these are our mountains, we'll have to, I think they should be a bit more. Oh, nice. Oh, if you want to link them, I'll paste it and check it out later. Oof. This whole issue with objects, because that's clearly closer to the camera. Maybe not if it's at 45 degrees. Maybe we could fix this by just having the camera be a slightly different angle than 45. Like, yeah, let's go with like 60. So we're like kind of really looking down at the map. And then, oh no, that kind of makes it even worse. Which is that one, no matter what. Yeah, it's because it's closer to the camera. Yeah, it's definitely better. It's just really annoying this issue of the sprites rendering in the wrong order. That was kind of like the whole reason I wanted to do it like this. So apparently that one is. Oh yeah, no, sounds fun. It sounds like a good idea. But doing a simple first one is actually really clever. Like I didn't do that for my first game. I should have. Yeah, see, and like what? Like this is really upsetting. Especially because like in this map it works fine, but yeah, it's only when it sort of tips up above that it becomes an issue. So I don't know why. Like. Why is it so imprecise? Why is it so Yeah, it depends how close we are side on. So the more side on, the more they'll overlap each other. Yeah, shoot them up like a first-person shooter is what I'm thinking, or maybe a top-down shooter. Bit like a survivor game, actually. Okay, so it's accurate when it's head-on. So is this just a map? But the thing is, I don't want to mess with the field of view. The field of view is fine. Why is it rendering path? If it's orthographic, it's fine. Maybe orthographic works because it's supposed to be on like a flat piece of paper. Oh, okay, like R-type or something. Um, or like some of the, I think one of the more modern Contra games was like that. But I don't want orthographic view. Maybe I do. Maybe it doesn't matter. Like, can we mess with? Can we mess with this until? Oh. R-types like yeah, you do that in like a spaceship. This is really annoying. I mean, I guess I can like I just would have thought that is clearly like this one is like the pivot of this one is clearly closer to the camera than this. So why is this appearing in front of this? I don't know why. Is it maybe down to like the scale of the scene? So if we made all of the mountains bigger, let's say we made all of them 3. And then the camera. Yeah, they will keep like flip-flapping over each other. We don't want that. So maybe I do just kind of have to use orthographic. Maybe that's the simple answer. So if the camera is just fully orthographic, then they kind of they seem to render correctly. Maybe that'll give it more of like a map feel. The thing is, I think I was kind of hoping for a little bit of like perspective. Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit of perspective. Just like a little bit of you know, like as you're moving the camera around, a little bit of movement. You know, a little bit of like the mountains moving past each other. I just don't know why the render points get so out of whack. I'll try something. They look a bit like pyramids, yeah. They should look alright once I fill in the gaps. Yeah, it's the art style. Right, so if I then make this, I just want to like experiment with like what if everything's a bit bigger, because is it just a matter of like so like obviously some things are closer than others, but like from the game's perspective it's like too much of a difference. So if we put the camera out like 15, no, it's still doing it. That's so bloody annoying. Why is that one appearing in front of the other one? That's just really, really, like, give me a break. I'm having a duff enough time as it is. Okay, so now we've got a bit of parallaxing, but none of them are coming in front of each other, so I think that's the way. So we'll do like 50 up in the sky. And everything is times 3. No, everything is times 5. Probably should have them organized, but this should be... And yeah, we can modify the prefab to match what it is in the scene. Okay, so then maybe... And yeah, let's kind of just push this to its limit, so... Oh, now it's like the other way round. No, it's because the ones on the side, that's so gnarly. But I guess it's like I don't have to ever have them that close to each other. Put what at 1? Like, yeah, it would be nice if these could just be 1, but I feel like the scene is too small. And maybe that's why, like, because this... If we take this, which one? If we take this object, like, this is clearly closer to the camera than this. So it should be rendering out in front. But... what my thinking is, this for the map, like a map screen, so you can like select your missions and select the bases to go and upgrade your stuff. I mean, I can work around it. I can just not ever put them too close. But I don't want it to be like that. Yeah, maybe I can it's like, how close can I put them before it becomes an issue? Like, seems fairly close. Like it's not that much of a problem. So yeah, maybe I'll just plow on then. So we want to bunch them up a bit more. Again, like, is that going to cause an issue? Am I going to have to go through and like pan across? Yeah, see there it comes over. Because yeah, I guess at that point this bit is closer than that bit from the point if we're looking at it. So that helps to explain the problem. Which means that like the more orthographic we can go, maybe the less of a problem this will be. I just wonder if there's some like better, like much better solution that I don't know about. Okay, so this, I think this has the opposite effect. So we want field of view to be low, and we want to be like a good distance away from everything. And then we'll still have like a little bit of parallaxing, I guess. It's just really annoying. Like, I wish it wasn't like this. I guess it's the part of the problem of doing it in these spaces. I wonder if, like, just not having them. See there, it pops over. That's really annoying. So what if we went even lower with our field of view? Let's put it to like 1 and get really miles above it. So we're like super zoomed in to something that's really far away. Which might not actually be a terrible effect. It's just we have to go miles out. Let's go like 500. Okay, let's at least see if I'm not seeing any popping over the sides. So that might be it. And then do we still have we still have a little bit of parallaxing. Not much, but some, which is like the effect we want. And then, yeah, we do get this feeling of we're looking down from on high. So the zoom values are going to be like really, really odd. But is this just feels like a very roundabout solution that kind of like is going to make life difficult in other ways. But if we get our parallaxing, I'm just kind of looking very close to see, like there's a very subtle amount of parallaxing. So maybe we can actually split the difference. I want a little bit of parallaxing, but I don't want them to like fold over each other and misinterpret how far they are from the camera. Draw a stick man. Yeah, because it's not the image type, it's just the fact that if I'm over here, if the camera's over here, then the pivot, the bottom of that is actually closer to the camera than that, and its distance to the camera is how it measures what render layer it should be in. But basically, if the distance, yeah, I mean, I guess. So is this gonna work? But if we're panning across this scene with the camera, with different what do you call it, field of view. So let's say 2. So then we can come down quite a bit. We'll probably come down to like 500. And let's see, as we pan across, do they ever like overlap each other? And are we getting some parallaxing? I think we're getting a little bit of parallaxing, which might be enough. Yeah, I guess one of the problems with this, one of the major problems, is these numbers become very sensitive. Okay. So let's go to like 400. Find them again. And maybe we can get away with more, because I guess if this is like the most zoomed out will be, let's say 500, and that's where we don't see we don't get the overlapping effect. So let's try and push this number. We want the maximum. I mean, there might be just like some way that I'm missing entirely, but yeah, I want the maximum parallaxing effect without them thinking that they're in front of each other when they're not. Is there like something on the sprite? Sprite sort point. Is that it? So what if we said, okay, so we're going to try some things. I'm actually going to make, should I make another camera so I don't have to modify each time? No, okay, so let's try this. If the sprite short point is the pivot, maybe it will behave better. So we go Yeah, I'm gonna make another camera. And I think if I disable, so if this one is, so then actually if we just made everything normal size again, and brought the camera to a reasonable, like 10, that should actually be reasonable. Oh no, maybe that is too low. Well, no, it is, because field of view. So the field of view is a normal, like I think 30 is kind of the average. And we've lost our mountains. Why can't we see our mountains? Is it because they're like hidden to the camera from... Oh no, it's because we're at the side. Okay. So no, we do get silly buggers. Okay, worth a try. Oh, cheers for dropping in, Varploon. Okay, so this solution is going to have to be the one. And this works fairly well. So we've got noticeable parallaxing, just a little bit. Maybe we can even go to 3, see how that works, see if that causes any of these mountains to overlap each other. Nope, okay. So I reckon we can manage 3, and we'll come down to, let's say 300. Then how do we look like, because the parallaxing would be like way out on the overlapping would be like way out on the sides, and here we've got a bit of parallaxing. Okay, I don't want to get too stuck on this forever, but that was just an annoying issue, but I understand it. I wonder if there's like some more, like altogether more intelligent ways of dealing with that. Okay, so just kind of building the beginnings of our scene. We've got a little spread of mountains. Let's actually tighten these up a bit then. Or like, so yeah, I think it should come out. Actually, no, they can live in there. And yeah, we're going to need to do the thing where we kind of paint the floor there under the mountains the same color as the mountains. So I'm going to need some kind of like funky shape. To like go under the mountains. Just kind of replace the grass texture, but just for those spots. So let's, yeah, nice bit of parallaxing. Okay, all right. The grass ends up being way too small like that, so we can actually increase the size of that so that it kind of matches with the mountains, even though that would be very large blades of grass. The pixels have to be the same sort of size. So yeah, I guess this goes to 5 as well, and that would be an exact match. And then that starts to look a bit nicer, and I guess we can get rid of these, because these aren't going to be UI things anymore. So that's a big change. Yeah, I'll just turn them off, and we'll sort out the look of them later. Okay. So the other little thing that we wanted to add, like, so then what's the next thing? Shall we do a tree? So if that's a mountain, based off of this, if that's a mountain, this is a tree. So I'm going to do a similar thing where I'm going to make like 3 little trees like that. And it's actually very important that I, so that's mountains done. It's very important that I get the tree that we have, so that I just get the exact colors. Because I think that would be useful. Okay, and so this would be a new one called, so scenery, no, yeah, sprites, map, trees, map trees. I'll call them map trees. We should call the mountains map mountains as well, just to avoid confusion. Okay, and what are we working with here? So I can actually do a canvas and see that that is basically 20 by 20. So yeah, let's just make our new one 24 by 24. So, and yeah, this is going to be hardcore because there's going to be lots of these. And I think I actually, did I have, yeah, I'm going to actually just take this. That's our first one. Oh, for God's sake, why? Where is it? I hate this. It's like, just place it in the middle, place it where I can see it. I mean, it's not too, like, for the effort I'm putting, I could just draw it again, but why is it being so awkward? Let's just use this then. So this can be our file. We can overwrite that one. Go away. Okay. We'll go. We'll put this at the bottom. And we'll get our colors. And it's really annoying. It's like because I'm not pasting it from the same spot. There it goes. It's so awkward that it really annoys me. I wish it was different. Okay, so that would be our. We've got our. I know we're actually missing our 3. See, isn't that bloody annoying? And I can't just copy this color over. That's the other annoying thing. I can't swap from there. I should have a palette. For tree, so I would go like, and the other annoying thing is I think I can copy this, and then go manage this palette, make a new one, but then I can't like copy it in. I guess I could like copy it here just so I can read it. 52, 82, 38. That's it. Isn't that just really annoying? But then that's our tree color, and then our next tree color. So, and I just really wish I could just put that there. Maybe there is a way and I don't know it. So 72, 116, 51. That's our, oh, and where did that even go? That was just me editing the first colour. See, isn't it bloody annoying? And then we have our dark tree color, which is make sure to click here, 4173. 31. And then if we're just getting one color for wood, is that that? No, it's not. So is that that? It is that. Okay, let's just use that. See how it looks. So now we need to save this over map trees, close it, open it again. So that's that color, that's that color, that's that color. I think that's already that color. So then that actually looks like our trees. Maybe maybe we would I don't know if I'm actually improving it here. Just making it look more like the original. There was more light on it. No, I think this is fine. Okay, and then basically we just kind of want to draw that again 2 more times. So I guess we pretty much always have the same bottom, although no, let's do something a bit different. So we can like have and then just like different shapes of tree. Just draw a tree shape, Otis. Just draw a tree shape. Let's do one more. Oh, have I got a bad stream? Yeah, so this might do it. Ah. Okay, I think these are quite charming little trees. So let's export that. And then go back to our Unity and see if we can, so we'll just make like another trees. Again, we go into sprites, map trees, put our preset on, multiple. By 24. Pivot at the bottom. And then let's say we just start bringing them into the scene. And I guess similar to the trees, they're all going to have to be imported at 5. And going to be rotated by 45, and that's going to be our prefabs. Could probably make folders for them, and then so as we copy and paste these throughout the scene, they'll all be parented to that object. So let's put a few trees together and go down, yeah, because these are going to be quite a bit closer, but also closer on both axes. So is that correct? That doesn't. That looks like wrong already. No. Yeah, that's right. And the way it works is what we should end up with, just because of the way it's like laid out, is that they should kind of make a nice little gang. So I'll just make a few more. And then paste this one around the place. So we're just making a little cluster. Trying to kind of keep it random and innocent. And then we would just start to like clone that about the place. And what that should give is the impression of a little forest where the trees are kind of like, they're where you'd expect. They're sort of size relative enough to the mountains. Not really, not even close, but you know, for our little kind of cheeky little thing where things aren't going to quite match. I think it always looks fun. And then that's kind of what that ends up looking like. I wonder if they should be brighter in general, but no, I mean that's clearly trees. And now is when what I would like, and let's see if this is like too demanding, but let's say we go into map trees, and I would like to put in another little thing. Oh, okay, give me the sprite then. Let's put in another little tree. Hello? Call this shadow. And if this is rotated further, so if this just reset, so it should just be matching. And then if this goes back here, and I think we have to make the material the white renderer, which is just what I use for shit like this. And we say it's black and about half transparent, maybe a third. We'll see, we'll get the number right. And we'll make this a prefab too. Really, if the sun's coming from there, yeah, the sun's coming from here. So yeah, we have like, this is like a very cheaty shadow. And I actually want that on all of them. So if we put this shadow I'm hoping then if I go to see this shadow trick doesn't work well for things with like really flat bottoms. Let's just leave it for the mountains, because like the mountains are like wide enough that they wouldn't cast a shadow. Let's just see how that looks. It's a very subtle thing, but now the trees have little shadows. And how do we do with like panning around? Do they start overlapping each other? No, they don't. All right, just kind of getting the basics in here. Okay, what if we had a road then, and if everything fits here, then it will fit in the other scene. I mean, yeah, we can start. So let's do this now. Let's go to bases, and basically we need all of these images that I've made. So we go bases, and I think this has ended up with it. We'll just delete it for now. And so we got, this is my drawing of the first base, although I think I might want to make them bigger. I don't know actually. Let's go with this for now. And yeah, unfortunately, wait, what if, okay, that's at least in the scene. All right, that's something. It's going to save us a tiny bit of terror maybe. Okay. Okay, I just want to get all of these in. Jesus. There. Enter. Stop moving. Okay, yeah, so we're going to make a thing that has all of our bases, and that'll be separate from map icons, but we need to start sorting that out. So some fairly boring like file management for a bit. And bringing stuff over. So I think, funnily enough, the easiest way to do this is going to be to like put it up here and then I should be able to paste it in here without too much trouble. Yeah, and then we'll do the same with our graveyard. Okay, so this is actually our bases, and then as a separate thing, we're gonna have. So this can go. We're gonna have map icons. So that will be this mission icon. What else would it be, actually? It would be the mission icon. It would be this thing that signifies this is the next thing you have to click on, but that's going to come later. And I think I'm going to animate that, actually, which should be quite fun. Like, the little arrow is going to bounce, and maybe occasionally the ring will, like, spin around, which I just think that would be really fun. It's got to be animated. That's not just a style thing. That's like, if there's very little moving on the screen, but this is moving, it's going to really easily point to you, like, this is the next thing you have to do to advance the story. I don't want any friction there. This isn't a puzzle game. So, might as well actually keep it in the same sprite sheet if there's not much else there. So we'll just call this sprite sheet like map icons, but bases kind of covers it. So it contains, so actually I think we're not going to use that one. It's got our castle, orc camp, graveyard, and it's got a mission icon, and then that thing is I'm going to have separate because it's going to have its own little animation. So this is like 76 by 76. Okay, let's make it like that for now then. So pop everything right in the top left corner, and then we'll sort out the position properly later. And yeah, this needs to go right up there as well, even though that means we have to do 2 layers. Bit annoying, but it's fine. And yeah, I don't know about this like color plate, but I just know it has to have a background. So we can resize this now to, what was it, 76. by 76, I think. Okay. And we'll say this is the size of bases for now. We can increase it later if that's what we feel we need to do. Okay, and just try and get that in the middle. I like these bases. They're very simple. I think they work. I like simplicity. That's one of the things I enjoy about pixel art, is like, how do you reduce the shape of something down to it, like its purest form. Oh no, we lost a bit of this. Okay, we'll have to, might be easier just to like do it again. So just move the whole thing over. Actually, I was thinking about gravestones, and like, should we have a cross? And then I was thinking about what would a gravestone from the religion of my like fantasy universe be, which is like a sort of, right from blacksmith, it's been this like god and goddess, Godo and Goda, and they're kind of like this twin. Well, not literally twin, but you know, like double deity. There, was it called duotheism? Duoism? I don't know. But then I thought, okay, so what would their cross look like? And it would be like this kind of double, like that. If they worship a duo, you know. A duo. That's what the odd grave would look like. Just a sort of fun little detail, I think. I think what your culture's graves look like, quite important, isn't it? Different ways we deal with death. And again, none of this is final, so I'm not taking it too seriously. I just want to kind of see everything together, and then I know what's missing, and then I know what needs improvement and how things need to be. But at the moment, like as the stream says, I'm teaching myself how to draw. I'm just starting very small and working my way up to, you know, something a bit more impressive. Bases, map icons. So we'll have the demon tower in there, but that can come later. And let's just export this for now, just so we've got our placeholders, just so we've got our file. So bases, hello. Yeah, map bases. Is this actually saved in the right spot? Yeah. Okay. So then once again, go into Unity. Like, it's going to take me a bit, and I hate how much it slows down the parts of the game I really like working on, like the gameplay, you know, and all that stuff. But yeah, I need to just really sit down and engage with map. So what was I doing? So yeah, map. Bases, they look quite nice together like that. I feel like it's just quite a bit off center. I guess it's not too bad. Like, it's just the pivot slightly off, but that's fine. Okay. So if we brought in human base, and again, this has to be by 5, rotated 45, and that's like nestled in the mountains. I mean, like, it fits the style of the game, and it fits that kind of simple pixel art graphics, which I think is nice. Obviously, I'd love to be able to do something a bit more impressive, but if it can't be impressive, at least it can be consistent. That's my philosophy. We might want these bases to be bigger, but we'll kind of see. Like, it's going to take me, like, yeah, I'm just going to try and get like each element complete, and then we can go and make each thing better. Right, so that would be. And just try and like zoom in on this area and get like this bit right, and then we can do the rest of it a bit nicer, you know. So then we think about how we're going to do a road, and Yeah, it could be doable. I'm just thinking about render order, but that can be sorted. Like basically, we'll have to put all of the bits that stick out in the front layer, and then the road would be kind of, and then the road would be above the grass layer, and the grass layer below the road layer, and it should all work. So I think the way to do that is going to be to actually so if we take layer 1, and like the road's not going to be final, but this is just going to have to be like a thing that I've laid over that we can work with, you know. So if I take that, and can I paste that in? I think it just takes a while. Piscal doesn't like dealing with images of this size, I think. I don't have one of Vista. No, I've got one at least. Oof. Okay, let's go to the shop later. Right, so if I just then get rid of all of this, all of this, all of this. And actually, this shouldn't be a separate layer. Sorry, this shouldn't be a separate frame. This should be a separate layer. So I'm just going to go back onto the map, make a new layer called road. And paste it in even though it's already there, just so that we've got that separate layer and we can easily kind of grab it. And I think it really is struggling. Piscal really does not like me working with such large images. So did that indeed get the road? I believe it did, yeah. So you can turn everything else off, and we can grab the road from this map. So we're kind of working, so like this will have an accurate like representation of the space basically. So I can export this and make it match the scene. So we'll call this road, map road. And I'll have to edit it like this at all times basically. So let me go into Unity. We import, and yeah, as far as the map, like, sorry, the camera settings go, we can change that later as well. Okay, so we have sprites, map road, default settings, apply, and then we take that road and pop it in here and try and get it to, it's going to be sort of funky if it's not 45 degrees, is it? Let's see. So it will have to be times 5, and I think if we make it times 5, then it should actually match. Although it does appear, why does it appear like it hasn't taken that on board? Okay, that's what that is, because it's a bigger image. Okay, map road. So just to kind of like casually pin it to the right spot, it's like that. Although really the road itself should be at 0, and it should be in line with the floor. And so this would be The grass would be -2. The road would be -1. And in theory, that's how it would line up. I'm going to gain lots of experience as I make this project. Although really, no, everything else should be... This should be 0. And everything else should move around it. Is that sprite being... Yeah, pivot is the center. Okay. Yeah, so this would all make sense. So we're going to take all our trees. And we're going to move them up. I can subgroup these trees, like make little clusters. And then let's say that's there, about there. We can take all these mountains, put them a bit above, take our base, put that there, and it's the base that should match the road, not the other way around. Okay. And just, yeah, as we go, we're going to find lots of benefits and also lots of like drawbacks of doing it in this way, basically. But here is our scene, so let's grab our camera, and yeah, we are actually pointing more to the north, like, so we shouldn't be imagining that we're aiming at the center. And yeah, we've got this, which sort of starts to feel a bit better, like with the grass texture than this, I suppose. So we can turn all these back on. And then we would have a mission icon. Oh, we didn't have a name for the human town, so we're just calling it human town for now. Oh yeah, no, we're calling it Ironwell. No, I think that would be a nice... Anyone who's played Blacksmith will enjoy that. It's my first game. Like the 5 people that played it. Okay, then there's the road. That can sit in its own layer. Bases, I guess, would come above that. You know, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just mental space. And then... So then we would have another one called... missions, and this is actually we would want to kind of retrofit the code that works on this to work for the missions instead. Got a mission 1. This would also be 5, scale of 5. I think that just makes it easier for the camera. I don't know. And so like our first sight of this is like, yeah, so we can scroll around like this and explore, and we can zoom out to like, let's say 300 to 500. We can zoom out about that far, which means we still have to scroll a bit to like get to see the different bases. And if we just kind of fill out this map, it will look nice. I mean, so one of the other ones, like little features to add, is houses. So I've made them here, and it's just going to be really easy for me to, it's actually going to be easier for me to just draw it again. So we'll go to, guess we're done with trees, so we'll save that to be triple sure, and use this window to open up. Oh wait, no, use this to make a new one called houses. Delete what's in there. And so a house, and it is roughly the size of a tree, so we'll use the same size just for that kind of consistency. And we want a line. How long is that? I don't know, we'll just do it again. So we'll get off black, hopefully. 20, 20. We'll make a line. Okay, at least now we've like saved the color. And then yeah, like a door would look like that. Very simple little houses. Does that look okay? And then we want like that kind of color, kind of sort of, what do you call it, like roof tiling color. Again, kind of going off that inspiration image. And then we want to kind of just very plain little light grey. So I just think maybe this is too tall. Sorry, too wide. They kind of almost look like little people, little innocent people. And yeah, is that the sort of right size? Like, does it want to be about that compared to a tree? I think so. Certainly not smaller. So yeah, let's go with that. Let's put them one frame off the bottom, close to the center as possible. And if that's a house, are we going to have 3 different types of houses? Kind of. I mean, I like having these, and they kind of help tell this story of like, here's a little village, here's a farm, you know, here's some that are on fire. Do we actually need varied versions? What would the varied versions look like? So what if we did the same sort of thing, but we just moved the doors and windows? So what if we had the door on this side? I don't know if that's just going to look silly. Don't know. I just want it to be like different, but how and why? Yeah, I guess we'll just do one with the door a bit to the right. So not 1 but 2 pixels away. And this one can have and what if we said this was like slightly shaded? It just ends up being, maybe that looks nice. Okay, I mean, let's go with that for the moment. So we'll export that. Houses, same again. Hmm? Why would they not? camera. Because it's like looking so there. It's looking so. It's like the numbers are so tight because of the way I've had to do the field of view, so the sprites didn't like pop over each other. Like the numbers are so sensitive. Yeah, that's about right. So we'll have to have like Z and or we'll do a cam dolly situation, I think. I mean, it's sort of simple enough. It's cute enough. Like I'm starting to like it more. Like yeah, the mountains are a bit different. We'll want a floor to go under the mountains. So maybe just some like little circles that I can just kind of pop into these gaps. Just to kind of color out the floor, because it does look good if I just make that dark grey. Or maybe the mountains just need to be tighter with each other. But yeah, we've got this little base nestled into the mountains, and we're starting to build out this map. And then so the other one is like farm, which would be a flat thing. And I'd have like 3 different shapes of farm and try and like stick them together, like have a long one and square one, and like, I don't know, or maybe that should be drawn manually, like along with the road. Like that could just be considered part of the road sprite. And then it's just like flat on there, because yeah, again, taking inspiration from this one, thinking about what did they include, what did they not include to create this kind of realistic setup. And they include little farms and little houses, which I think is just very, yeah, I mean, when you go on a plane, fly over England, what do you see? You see little farms, you see all the little broken up squares of different colours, growing different crops. And in this case, they've all just kind of gone with yellow. So I'm just using this as like a guide. So obviously I'm not... I don't know if you call that copying or tracing. I think I'm just like... I'm learning how to do this. Okay, I think the base should have a shadow. Oh, please don't tell me it's gonna overlap the mountain behind it. No. Okay, well that kind of looks interesting. Looks like the shadow of the castle on the mountain. It's a nice little detail. It's what starts to give this depth. I need to think about clever ways of like just dividing up the grass a bit. I think I actually might, for the moment, want to go with a solid colour. Again, here we have a very soft gradient colour, which is not going to translate so well from pixel art. But you just have little splotches where the grass is a different colour. So I'll probably end up having to make like, I don't know, we'll see about that. But actually I think I want this grass texture. Where is it? Grass. If that could actually just be a solid color. So I could export the land. And then, I don't know, I guess I should start experimenting with like trying different colors here. So like, yeah, we get our like darker grass color. And then how are we going to have that effect of like, what do we just draw little bits? that are a bit different color, like that, and just kind of dot it about, and then like I don't know, like, use the dithering tool. That's actually not bad, especially if it can kind of give like shape to like the roadside. I think that's what's gonna look quite good, is if there's sort of, you know, like it's not just a hard cut off. Or like what if the road had a color that was like moving towards green, and then that was kind of outlined on it. Or maybe not that color, maybe just like something a bit less, something a bit more yellow, just darker, maybe just outlining. This is good. It really doesn't like oh, it's because it's the road layer, right? It really doesn't like me working with such a big file in Fiscal. Lesson learnt, I guess. I mean, so if that kind of went along the road, just kind of giving a bit of an edge to it, would that look better? I guess we can kind of start doing it here, so we don't do it across the whole thing, and just kind of get a sense of like if that's gonna look good or not. And basically, I think that's how I'm going to be doing this, just kind of like detail by detail, point by point, making this map look nicer. Let's do a thing. Let's turn off mountains, trees, bases, see what we're left with. And then the road should basically be invisible, but it's okay if it's in both spots. And yeah, I don't know. And also we could have little hills. But let's export this. I don't know, just kind of. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm just sort of seeing if I can get that kind of nice kind of like an organic like gradient to the grass a little bit, so it's not just a solid color, but that it's got that what makes grass look nice, you know. Okay, so we can export this. And we'll call this map, I guess, map background, which may end up containing the road as well. Like we could just delete the road. So let's put that in. Oh, why did that come in? Oh, no, don't do that. Delete this layer. Ah, that's why the road was in like what I thought was a funky position. Okay, so we'll leave the road on. Or should we just consider the road as part of the map? Yeah, it's probably the best thing to do, for now at least. So we want to, let's say, road. Should actually be sprites, map background, default settings, except this should be higher. Apply. And then map road should actually have And that's going to throw everything out of whack. But that's fine. We'll set that up again. So iron well, come back here. Get right on the road. Mountains. Come back here. Trees, all thousands of these trees. Yeah, we should group them up into clusters so it's easy to grab and manipulate them. Because you can't tell that I've grabbed 10 and copied it 5 times. So we can do more of that. Let's get our camera. Move it back to where it ought to be. We kind of want this view. Yeah, because I don't think we can use that map texture. I don't think we can use the grass. I don't think that works. Because we either have to make it so small, but we have to kind of simulate that at the correct resolution, basically. So it's a bit of a challenge. Yeah, very tricky stuff. But we're getting somewhere. We put the stuff in the scene. That's an achievement. And I think my head is just kind of getting around this idea of maps and how maps work. So yeah. And yeah, the little shadows are nice. Having the map icon there, it sort of starts to feel like what it's going to be. But I guess one of the crucial parts that are missing would be, it would be nice to have hills. So we can make a hill object. Is that our grass color? I believe it is. So yeah, let's make some hills. So hills and a hill, so we can actually draw it here first. And we can say, so a hill would be, we take our off black. And we draw a little, and I'll just keep it on the mountains layer, I guess, just with the pen tool. And we draw a little hill. Nothing crazy. Again, taking from this one I'm using for inspiration. A hill is just a bump with maybe a bit of a thicker bump on the left side. Which is actually a nice, actually kind of feels quite good. I wonder if I should do something similar with the mountains. Just have the line thicker on the outside. That could look good, right? Oh yeah, so let's actually go with that. Not quite so thick. I kind of really want to do that with the mountains now. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go into mountains. God, this is already getting quite populated, isn't it? Mountains. So if I'm going with a double pixel line on the left side, is that going to look much better? Does that look better? I'm not sure it does. Does that look better? I'm not sure that's what we're going for. I'm not sure that's in our style. So no, I think while it's a fun exercise, and worth a go, it's not actually better. Okay. But hills should be get confused with my images. So hill, yeah, I guess that's about the size. So that is, oh, that's a rectangle. I'll just so that is 48 by 16. So if we did like 48 by 24, I think that would be about right. So let's do 48 by 24, and we're doing a hill, and we want and we're just doing a little hill. And again, reminding myself of what these hills look like. Yeah, just a little mound. I guess part of what looks good is if the sort of left side is longer than the right side. If we're having the light coming from there. Hey, Jack, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, just struggling a bit with like drawing hills. I guess it's like we can have yeah, so we've got our light coming from there, they've got the same thing. So like we would also expect to see like a slightly longer tail on the right side and corner inclusive on the right. Kind of gives it a very subtle bit of that kind of shading. And then we want our exact grass color, which I'm not sure that this is. So I need to figure out what's the best way to get that. So this is our grass color. This is, yeah, I guess I'll copy that. And then I guess what we would expect to see is like the darker shade of grass. So I'm going to go and get grass up again. So that is indeed, that color is indeed that color. So we want, oh wait, I'm not even, but yeah, that is the same color. And then this one. I need to be better with my like palettes basically, but for now this will do. And I guess, so the lights come in here, we might see And it might actually be a bit stronger than this. And maybe these would end up with that sort of pyramid-ish look too, but like softer. And that is a hill. Yeah, Jack, you were mentioning last time about like some Kingdom game. Have you played Mountain Blade? Tell me if you've played that one. Because that sounds a bit like what you're talking about, except you can't do anything to craft your castle. Like, it's not like Minecraft building. You can just craft you just deal with that whole thing of being managing a castle, sending troops out, deciding whether to keep them in the castle or send them out to go do something, that kind of thing. Making sure that they're fed and their wages are paid and everything. Might be your cup of tea. Okay, so we're gonna do same again then. We're gonna make a few of these. We're gonna make 3 of these hills. The rule is 3, and I don't think there's gonna be much different. I should just draw them slightly differently each time. If the light's coming from, I don't know. Just thinking, why would we have this like slightly thicker line on the left? Is that actually better? It sort of feels right in a weird way. Let's just not intentionally do that. Let's just draw it how a hill looks. And just kind of, yeah, and then just kind of fill it out. Oy. Take our darker color. Let's see how we get on with these. Let's see which ones look good and which ones don't. I guess it's kind of giving the shape of the hill one way or another. I don't know, like however thick I choose to make these lines just determines like the organic shape of the hill, and it would present that that hill is kind of more in line with our line of sight and therefore appears thicker, maybe. Okay, let's try with those. I should call them map hills, really. Never mind. Okay, and then take map hills. Map hills. There we are. Do our default setup, our preset, multiple, apply. Open sprite editor, grid by cell size, 48 by 24, pivot is at the bottom, slice. Muscle memory at this point. Okay. Yeah, Mountain Blade. Like, if you could take that a bit further, like keep some of the mechanics, but apply it to kind of maybe like a voxel building game, that could be insane. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, we're so similar. Like when I was little, I made like little South Park animations with like paper cutouts. It was a nightmare because if I sneezed, it would all go everywhere. And I did it. I had a camera, like a little VHS video, like the little Super 8 tapes, I guess. hanging from a thing, so it would like stay facing down, and I would just record and unrecord quickly, and I would make animations like that. Great minds think alike, I think. Okay, so if we've got hills now, so let's make yet another folder for hills. Hills. Reset the transform. And then we can, I think if I pop them all in, it actually I should test that. So if I take 3 of these and try and import it, and just put that into the scene like that, it makes an animation. That's good to know, because maybe that would like make my life a bit easier for making an animation like that. Okay, well we don't want to do that now. And then I guess when we do want to do that, we'll have forgotten, but never mind. And would hills have shadows? I'm not sure they would. I'm not sure we'd even be able to see them. Okay. And then so these should all be 5. And we can rotate it at 45, and we can bring them over here and start plopping them about. It would stand to reason that hills would be kind of close to mountains, right? And are we going to have these issues? So straight away, I feel like dotting a few of these around the map is going to give the map what it desperately needs, which is texture around the basic green spots, right? If I have a few little like hill configurations like that, that should work. Okay, so let's prefab them. And do we want shadow? Shadow something we want? Oh, I've lost the shadow prefab. There it is. That should go in map. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, hills all can be prefabs. Don't worry about the names. And then what if we had shadow in here? And that would be, so that would be the hill. And it wouldn't be so far from, so we just want this to be 0, 0. And we would just move it out a bit like that. And then can you even see it? I don't think you'll even be able to see it, not in the way we'd want you to. So I think this is a bust. No, let's not do shadows on the hills. Okay. So if we just had a few more hills dotted around. Just to sort of see, yeah, so I'd do like 5 of each. Okay, that was... And yeah, it kind of stands to reason that they would be kind of coming off, they'd be like a bit stronger coming off the mountains. And then they'd kind of chill out a bit. Or maybe I am just like putting way too many hills, that we don't need that many. But it does start to give the land a bit of texture, which is, I think, the main thing missing. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to shape up. So I guess we can look at putting farms now. So again, just taking from my own reference, like, yeah, adding little farms like this tends to make sense. And again, like, that's what they've done in this map, which I think is charming, and I like what they've included. We don't need every single building of every town, but it's nice to have, I mean, I don't think we'll have a lighthouse, but just those little details, little docks there. Yeah, the way the water will move. So what we'll want to do is have water maybe on its own bit that's like animated a bit, just so that there's like a couple images that it's flickering between, and just kind of like actually by hand going through and drawing water lines. So I think we actually have... So yeah, there's lots of different ways we could go. I don't think we have a specific... Like, water has not featured in this game, really. So I can actually just start with a fresh color rather than having to, like, pick one that exists. And if we went with, like, a really bright... and just started on this... And just said, like, okay, what's generally how we're going to create this effect of, like, water. So again, I'll look at my reference. And the thing is, I think we're kind of working with different perspectives here. So for them, a river ends up being much smaller. So this river is as wide as, like, 3 houses, which seems about right. That's a river. That's a proper river. That's like the River Orwell, right? That's the one I live near. That's basically what we're mimicking here. And yeah, I mean, it's starting to come together, isn't it? We've got a little map happening. So yeah, what if we had some farms? And how would I go about that? Should I just draw them on the scene? Or should I have them as little sprites that can lie down? Because the thing is, I think with the farms... And again, just kind of looking at how they've done it in this little inspiration. Like, so houses are all kind of fairly uniform. Although they're all individually drawn. But the farms, we've got, like, big long ones, big fat ones. We've got skinny long ones. Like, they seem to be coming in all shapes and sizes. But... what would we have to commit there? I think it would probably look best if I did do it like that, and just rather than drawing 3 or 4 farms that will copy along, that I should actually just draw them on the map here. Yeah, I'm going to go for a little smoke. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think this isn't a bad idea to start doing. I mean, let me find some more fantasy maps. So I'm thinking of doing the brighter parts of the water. Medieval fantasy map. Oh, apparently you can get map generators and shit. No, we're not messing around with that. And I'm trying to find one, so I'm just scrolling through Google Images, trying to find one that has some nice rivers that I can kind of copy. So I'll try medieval fantasy or pixel art medieval fantasy map. Yeah, they kind of don't. So I'm looking at this one. Or no, I mean, it's another like stock one. But just, so if I can grab it, put it into my Miro. So this is like another approach. And this one looks good because it's actually got like thicker line. The river has thicker lines than sort of the other things. This is a very good reference for me. Yeah, I've got the tree to mountain size ratio right, even though that's like way off. Like a tree is nowhere near that big compared to a mountain. Those are some big ass trees, but that's kind of the ratio. It's like one tree, it's like one mountain to like 10 trees. It's about right. Doesn't make any sense, but it looks good. It's sort of the right ratio. They've got like a dotted line for the road, but we're not expressing a road, we're actually just showing a road. But then the river has a thicker line than everything else, which I guess kind of gives it a sense of depth. So this is going to be a pain in the ass to do, but this is the kind of thing, it's like, okay, the river is part of this map. How are we going to do it? First off, I want to make this, because there's always the things like you never want to go full black or full white. You want to go slightly off unless you're really making a statement, because it just looks better. Hello? What happened to... And then if we... But that's not that color. That color. Yeah. And I want to color everything that's black into that color instead. So then this is now... And look, you can't even tell... I couldn't even tell. But it does make a difference to the eye, to just sort of a feeling of things being a bit smoother. So if I want to go through and kind of basically just like double this line, just go with a single line dot and just kind of like do it again. Is that what I want to do? I guess it is. But like, and why am I doing this? Why does it look better? Because it has a line. Yeah, I tend to smoke quickly. Get it out of the way. Make little ones. I don't have big, like, massive cigarettes. I make little ones. I feel like this does look better for the river. But again, maybe the issue is that it's not really in my style. So I'd be better off going with like a different color. So like, or maybe we're sort of doing this ever so slight forced perspective and I can color the back edges like that. And then that will give it some kind of, let's try things. I mean, we can, you know, it didn't take long to draw this river line. I can draw it again if I want to undo all of this shit. it's gonna be a pain unless I sort of do it with some good finesse. I mean, I guess. And then we sort of do it again here. And I hope that this is the kind of love that makes a difference, or would I just be better off using some kind of like pen or not doing pixel art? But hopefully this love will kind of show in the game. So yeah, we're just kind of extending out. Just gives it a bit of something. It does make a difference. It does look better. Okay, I hope people appreciate all the work I'm putting into this game. I mean, it's not too bad. It's kind of easy, simple work. It's tedious. My hand doesn't enjoy it. But it does make the river look a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Okay, yeah, let's carry on then. I mean, what if I end up wanting to change the shape of the river? I guess it's like, why would I do that? But then it's like, why exactly this shape? Shouldn't it bend the other way and then this way? Like, that would be, but then why would I do that? Wouldn't it make more sense to just kind of work with the sort of natural thing that we've got, you know? I don't know. In this case, we're going to start going back to like 2 pixels wide here. Okay. And then it would be this bend of the river. But like, I think it's a natural shape already. Like, I did it in sort of one, you know. And I guess if we needed to change chunks of it, we could. This would be fun to watch on a time lapse, maybe. Oof. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout. Like, yeah, what else would you find in a river? I guess not reeds, like that's more of a swampy thing, but a river would have like, yeah, little kind of visible stones. And then yeah, the whites next to that would be a bit lighter. So yeah, again, I'm not great at art, but I'm not even good really, but I think I can get like what the game needs. Obviously it would be nice to have like a full-time artist with me, but it's very complicated to bring other people into the project. And I kind of want to learn how to do this. I kind of want to get better at this. I mean, at this point, what I'm suffering right now is a product of doing something in pixel art. Because you can't do like normal hand brush strokes, you know. You kind of have to do it like this. I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of algorithms where I could say, could you just add a bit to each part of this line? Or just making it wider in the first place as I draw it. Like if I just drawn this with, but then I'd still, yeah, if I just drawn the parts that I wanted to be thicker with a double thing, then I wouldn't have had to go through this. In fact, it might have been easier just to redraw the whole thing like that. Right? Like maybe I can do that from here, just... Yeah, no, I think this is fine. I'll do it. I'll just carry on like this. I started playing Hades last night. Hades 2. It's pretty fun. I'm not like super blown away by it. It's just Hades again. And I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the like hold down to do magic thing, to use mana. And I'm completely uninterested in the story. And then, what does it look like when? Like, how do beaches work with that? I think the beach would have to stop here, right? Okay, I did it. And yeah, I think it does look better. It starts to kind of, yeah, makes things look a bit better. So then I think we would want to think about, so I want to find some more like for one thing, I think it can get darker in the sea. That's something. Okay. Let's try a few different things here. Does this look better than having like the lines go through? I think that I don't know where the lines coming through is coming from, but I'm not sure that will. Is that how you draw water? I don't know how to draw. The title of the stream isn't a lie. I'm having to teach myself as I go. Like, how do you do water? Because I'm seeing. So there's this one. Put that onto the mirror. And again, we've got the sort of like bank into the river. Might have been fun to actually do that in a different colour. But later maybe, if at all. And then what they've got is just little lines. So if I like, is that good? Is that better? That's definitely an improvement than just blue. Over just blue. Versus no, that looks more amateur. That looks like, yeah, the water's moving. That doesn't look right. So I think we're going to go with these guys, and we can sort of make a couple and then repeat them. Oh, hey Willie, how's it going? Yeah, all good. How's your game going? Vorhand? Sorry, I always forget the name. Vorland. The blacksmith kind of card game thing. Yeah, so I think that's kind of how we do water, right? We just have. And I think probably the best thing is, rather than draw each one individually, is to make like a couple good ones. So let's try and do that. So we're going to make a new one. We can reuse this file, this window, and make. No, we're making a new one. We'll call it. What do you call it? A ripple? Ripple. Volland, yeah. Cool, nice. Oh well, congratulations on your son. Is that your first son? That's really, really great news. Congratulations. Yeah, having a son is great. It's not easy, but it's great. Ripples. And so a ripple, we're actually just going to get the so we'll get that color. Second kid. Oh really? Oh, I'd love it if you called your kid Otis. Like, obviously not because of me, but like, Otis is a good name. It's a rare name. It's kind of mad though. My son's got a kid called Otis in his like other half of his class, and he's also we got him some secondhand school uniforms, and the name on the back said Otis. I was like, what? How? Yeah, I guess the name's coming into fashion. I've been because it's because of me. Like everyone wants to call their kid Otis now because of me. Right, so ripples. We want to take this color that we've just copied. Okay, yeah. Get our pen. And I guess it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is 12 by 7. Wait, no, that's 13 by 7. Yeah, so we'll do like 14 by 8. And that'll be 1. And then another 1. I guess these look okay. We can always edit them. So then we'll export these ripples. I should call them map ripples. Never. Okay, we're not doing that then. We're not doing clever naming convention. Okay. So then we've got our ripples. Did we export, or did I just? Oh no, here they are. Doing lots of this today. So it's a good thing I made that preset. Yeah, I guess they can be pivoted to the bottom. Slice, apply. And then yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it's not been easy with this heat for sure. I've not been working at my fastest. Thank you for noticing. Actually, it's not too bad today. What is it today? Over here, it feels like 25 or something, when it's been like 30 and shit lately. It feels like 25 or something like that today. That's not too bad. Yeah, no, I mean streaming's good. Like, it sort of helps focus the mind as well. I find, like, I feel like because I'm doing things in front of people now, like I sort of shouldn't screw it up, and I kind of tend to do things in a bit more of a cadenced way, and it helps like keep the work rhythm going. And yeah, it's like, oh, is it 33? I mean, because it varies from place to place. I mean, there's quite a bit of like there's like very thin layer of cloud in the sky today, so it's still blue, but it's like very light blue, very white blue. So I think we're sort of spared from the heat today here in Suffolk. Or maybe I'm just getting used to it. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna look nice. Maybe they should just be flat. Although, yeah. Let's have a look with the camera. Oh, but I do feel like it's shaping up. Those hills really make a big difference. And it would be nice if we could have the cloud shadows. So you just have like a layer of like slightly moving shadows of clouds, and like maybe like little bits of smoke coming out the chimneys and stuff like that. I think that's what's going to make it work. Like if I can't make it look beautiful, I can animate it at least. So if we move the camera, yeah, I should set up a dolly system for the camera. And like, do we think this is about as zoomed in as we would be? Could we go down to 200? I mean, I guess that's the level of detail we're going to see it then. So ripples, not rotated. Oh, I think it's got to be not rotated. So it actually matches the... oh, no, not like that. No, fully rotated. Because then it sort of, yeah, it matches the... Obviously it matches this better. So I'm gonna wanna... I'm not gonna do the whole thing, because I'm still just experimenting. Yeah, and I guess I'll carry on with the rule of kind of making a whole bunch. Making 5 of each. Might be too many. And yeah, the more I can just kind of have them random, I think the better. Makes it look more organic. Does it look like too much of like a 2x2 row? No, not quite. So we could keep going with that. But yeah, that's how we're going to do the water. And yeah, I think these hills look good. I think they might be a bit too clumped up over here, so like it feels like maybe just kind of overdoing it a bit. But yeah, if we sort of said like the north side of this road is like hills and shit, which would make sense for why the road is shaped the way it is. And there were maybe like farms more on the south side, but a bit of farms on each side of the road leading up to here, so we would have more houses. So like yeah, we would have, there would probably be like a little townstead here, maybe, because that's supposed to just be a little side road to the graveyard. But yeah, maybe there'd be like a little tavern with like a little side, like a little double building, little tavern, right? And some more farms. So we're not doing farms yet. And yeah, we just kind of start to manipulate this map, kind of add more pieces. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the art style. It's like if you can't be great, at least be consistent. I think that's a good thing. Like if you're not good at art, like I'm not good at art, at least I can be consistent. Oh, those ended up in the wrong place. No, I should grab them all. Y should be 0. And yeah, we can make more clumps of trees and just kind of populate it out, get those ripples on the water, get the hills out a bit. I wonder if we could have like a different layer of hill, like a different size of hill maybe. Or like, what are we going to do about, like maybe if we have enough stuff, like the grass gradient doesn't matter. I'm thinking of just going with like a wide dithered brush. So we go here, let's say we wanted to do some grass. I would get a big fat dithery brush. And I don't have the exact colour. I think this is our colour for dark grass, and just, no, dither. Just kind of mash that about. I don't know. That kind of looks crap, doesn't it? I don't know. I guess I'm not ready to do that yet. Or we just do these like, maybe it's just the dithering that's the problem. But if we just had these like dark splotches, I think maybe the color contrast is too strong there. It sort of gives shape to the land, maybe. It lets you imagine like a sort of thicker brush, you know? Or maybe the hills are doing that. Maybe the hills are doing that with their sort of off shade color, you know? So if we did have like, let's get like a clump of trees. If I grab a bunch together, would they? No. It's just. Okay, that's a tiny little clump. Yeah, so like if this were like. Actually, I imagine a lot of these trees wouldn't exist, because we would want more space next to the town. They would have chopped these trees to build stuff. We sort of imagine, yeah, there's like quite a few houses built. Like this is a town, you know. Yeah, and have the rule of 4. I like that. Houses come in like 4s like that. And then you can sort of imagine like another little farmhouse over here. Maybe the odd little farmhouse dotted along. With the little farms around them. More little clumps of trees. This is nice. I can easily just grab clumps like that, because yeah, I think I'll just do it like that, rather than so systematically. And it just starts to give maybe texture to the land. And we can kind of imagine the story. We can, you know, we can kind of place ourselves in this land, kind of can see why things are happening the way they're happening. There's a castle here, the orcs are coming, Randars come to defend it. So yeah, I guess farms. I think it might be wise to, yeah, not draw each farm individually, but to just have a few farm objects that I can kind of intelligently place around. They'll need to rotate well. That's the thing about pixels, they don't rotate well. So I think it actually might be best to draw that on the map. So I'm going to want to take... So all these farms are actually... All these, yeah, farm bits are drawn on the base. So I want to take them, copy, delete, onto layer 1. Just make this part of the map that I draw by going to this big map file. And yeah, at the moment we're still figuring out the method. If that makes sense. So that's why we're kind of jumping around between things and kind of, yeah, we're sort of imagining how this is going to work. Oh, no. Let's re-export that, just because we've got a few farms, like we can do more, but we'll kind of, again, we'll get the method for doing a farm. That background. So then we've got our farms there. Okay, like starting to, you know, shape up a bit, I think. So that hill wouldn't be there. Maybe as well, like the soil under the trees should be that like darker color. Yeah, I mean it's starting to shape up a little bit. So I think yeah, I think it's going well. Maybe the houses could have a bit more to them, like just like a bit at the front. I'm going to try something with that. Like maybe they're actually just too basic. Like we could actually have a bit more detail on them. So can I copy that over to the other ones now? Yeah, I think that's nicer. I think that's worthwhile. And what I can do is like flip half of them so that they'll... And that creates kind of more variation. I can do that with the trees too. Let's take a bunch of them. Just flip them. But I can kind of get a machine to do that for the trees. So we're like, we can't flip the hills because the hills are too much dependent on light. I think that's straight away. That's quite a big improvement. Just making the houses 3D. And I guess would we have to flip the shadows as well? I guess it's not going to make much difference. Um, yeah, the shadows working. Should they be more prominent? And then I was also thinking about maybe just like a little bit in front of the house. So just imagining like if we took our grass color, this one again, just kind of make them stand out a little bit. Let's just see how that works. Yeah, I think that's added a little something. Nothing crazy, but I think that's like a decent like slight improvement. And I feel like we might want to zoom the map in. Like, I guess no, if we say no, let's not zoom in the map any closer than this, then this all looks quite good. The houses, and I still feel like we need to do something grass texture. But if this is our first image, this is the first thing the players are going to see. So yeah, maybe we want to get the camera angle a bit more framed so that these two guys are kind of like, it's very clear what's happening. We're coming out of here, so we need more mountains on the back here. And yeah, I think we're going to do this. So the mountains would continue off to the right. So I guess we can make our little, what do they call it, beautiful corner here. So let's do that. Just on some more mountains up this way, covering the edge. That, yeah, okay, so let's fill that out. And we've left out rather than that number 0 in this, so let's get a few of those. Okay, so we can kind of tweak those mountains if it ever like ends up looking weird. Okay, we can have another one of these over here. No, not that one. And then we kind of like need, I don't know, like the bit between the mountains and the green grass. There should be like some kind of something. I guess trees are okay. So that's a good trick. So if we just take a bunch of trees and just kind of jam them up into the mountains, right? Or perhaps hills, just to obscure the line. right? Just because that line looks a bit funky, it's nice if there's stuff there instead. We could even have a script like draw trees for us. We just need to like find a way to determine like where we want them to spawn. The rest is easy. Sometimes I mess up with the movement. Mess up with the, like I end up getting grabbing the wrong bit of the gizmo and making them go up on the Y axis. Can I just like freeze that? But that looks better. That's like a nice way of hiding the that's a nice way of like hiding the sort of dodgy bit where the mountains and the land intersect, and now it kind of looks quite nice actually. We just need to make sure. Oh, we're gonna have to move a couple of those mountains. They can, I guess, they can never be like too close sideways to another. So which is it? And this is going to be really tedious, like making sure they don't misbehave like that. Because I don't mind if the hills do that a little bit. It's kind of inevitable, but yeah, well, there'll be a bit of work to like get rid of these ones that like too closely intersect, basically. All these gaps appearing. Yeah, and there's some like slight movement, although like the parallaxing is like so subtle. I hope it's like actually good. We'll see. We'll see. We might just have to flatten everything out. Just go orthographic mode and not have any of these issues. And then maybe do some kind of fake parallaxing. We'll see. Okay. I mean, this kind of starts to look okay. I feel like... so going back to... just in case I'm missing anything. Let's turn all of this back on. Yeah, so that's kind of everything on the first screen. That's our like little beautiful corner. I guess that's what they call it. So would we want to make it that like the darker, like the bits that the woods are on are darker? Experimenting here, so yeah, it's going to be tedious sometimes. Ah, damn it. I guess at times I'll have to like go between, but at least I can kind of identify these bits. It's like if there was going to be dark ground anywhere, it would be here. And then the question is still open, like how do we actually that's my train of thought, sorry. Yeah, how do we actually show it? So like, what does the dark grass look like? Does it look like, you know, is it the dithered thing? Do I do like spotty bits around the outside, or do I just have like a hard color change at certain points, you know? At the end of the day, just giving the map texture. So that I guess we would have some over here as well. Just some like black smudge, bit of woodland area. black, not black, like dark green splodge. Just giving the, subtly, piece by piece, giving the map some texture on the solid, on the otherwise solid chunk of grass. Funny enough, like chopping it up like that to edit it kind of gives it a kind of organic-ish shape. Yeah, I mean it's starting to look nice. I think this colour for the farms is too bright. Like straight away, this should be a bit more subtle. Not that dark. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, we'll get that colour right. And then what if we finesse the road a bit? Let's just try finessing the road. So if we had like an off-road colour. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to do it for like the starting bit. Like our little beautiful corner. Oh no! No! It happens sometimes. I think I have been saving consistently, but... Okay, how much did we lose? Not too much. Not too much at all. Okay, but I'm going to save like more consistently. Damn, I think I had a good colour there as well. Save. Yeah, this is quite tedious, but I think it's for a good cause. Like, ideally we're only going to have to draw this road once, but if we do have to draw it again, it's like, okay, but we've got our blueprint, like we know what it needs to look like. It doesn't actually take that long to do. It's the thinking about how to do it that's the hard part. We're still working with very low resolution, but I like it. I think, you know, for the kids these days, they like Minecraft and they grow up on Minecraft. We're not so impressed by high fidelity anymore. This reminds me of, like, yeah, kind of looking up close at a dirt texture in Minecraft. That's something I've always liked. Okay, let's just start with that, and I just really want to see it in the actual scene. Okay, yeah, it is going to be worthwhile. It does just kind of immediately add more effort, add more weight to the scene. We might think about changing the colour of the outline, but it is good. For the farms, I actually think like a dithering tool might actually be just the ticket. That's not a dithering tool. Oh, dithering takes the okay, I see. So the other one ought to be that. And dither me. Does that look more like a farm? What's the best way to do this? There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to, like, paint bucket dither. So I think for the farms that would actually make sense. There's got to be a better way than how I'm doing it. Oh, I know a good way. I kind of hope this doesn't look good so that I don't have to do it to everything. I think I don't like dithering in general. But maybe what we could do, just try on a fresh one over here, is if... So yeah, let's go back to our brighter colour. Yeah. And then if this basically was... So if we actually, like, because then it kind of looks like the tops of the crops, you know. I don't know how to do it here. That kind of adds a bit of texture to it, doesn't it? And then what if we did kind of just have, you know, does that make it look more like a foam, or does it just look like a disease now? Does it look like crackers? For some reason can't control Z too much, but yeah, just. Okay, yeah, so that looks better. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to undo that. Probably easier just to draw these again. I think we might even skip farms there altogether. So okay, so if this looked the same, we just want a little dark line. I think it was actually easier if I do them all dark and then get the light one. It's actually easier to do it like that. Ah. Yeah, I think this adds a little bit of texture to them. Okay, yeah, that looks nicer. And that fits the game. I don't know if we would want like rows of crops. So like if we took this and just kind of like did lines. Does that look good? Does that make it look more like a farm? Let's look at that black and white. Back in that, where will I get an image of a farm within black and white? Yeah, they were just, they didn't have the lines on them. They were just little piles of grain. Yeah, and we just kind of assumed that they're all grain farms, right? That's the way they do it. They're all just grain farms. Little squares. So I don't think they're actually improved by the presence of these stripes. Simple is nice. Simple works. Okay. I think that's a good place to leave the stream for now, because I think I need to like sit back and like really think about what's next. I mean, this looks good. We've got the hills. We've got the little foresty bit. Like this starts to actually look like a picture of something. And then what I want to do, so let's make little lists. So yeah, river rocks. Although I kind of want to do it. We'll start with this beautiful corner. Yeah, I guess we should fill out those trees. Build another farmhouse there. Oh, beautiful. I mean, it's not really a beautiful corner. It's just the first image, you know. Right. Yeah, we started doing that. Yeah, this is a fine placeholder for a mission icon. I think that's about the right size comparative to everything else in the scene, and yeah, that works well. So yeah, we've got the mission icon. Fill that beautiful corner. Finish roads in the corner. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what more we could do. Like maybe little grass tufts. Then what would that look like? Yeah, like little bushes. Add little bushes. Okay, I guess we'll just add in draw and animate. It's not even Wednesday today. It's Thursday. Yeah, so we'll call this Friday. Draw and animate. Next story. Or yeah, like story highlighter. Smoke coming from chimneys. So if they just had little chimneys and there was just little life, you know. Maybe even little like stickman farmers, like, or little stickman beans. No, I think the chimneys would be enough. It, like, lets you know that people live there. Yeah, maybe let's leave, because the little cloud shadows are fun. They look good in the game. Otherwise, I guess that would translate to just little dark blotches. So yeah, I don't know about the little moving clouds. Yeah, just thinking about how we can improve things. Oh yeah, so yeah, we'll do the river rocks, little bushes, little moving cloud shadows. We'll try all these things out. And then these faction banners, I'm not sure we need. Not sure exactly where they would go. Base sprites, yeah, we got that at least. I mean, yeah, I think that is actually about the size it should be. Maybe it should be larger, and then we can create more space for it. Yeah, should we make the base sprites larger? Well, I'm not gonna like edit them, and if I edit them, I'm gonna make them like, yeah, just like twice or like I guess 4 times as big, just kind of filling out more space. More of an epic object that's, you know, really saying click on me. And yeah, I guess it's about like, so yeah, little tufts of grass. That can just kind of populate the plains. Just add a bit more detail. And yeah, any more inspiration from some maps I can see? Oh, this is another good one. So I'll pop that in my... I'm just looking at ones that I like. So it's like here the sort of water lines are kind of coming in. But yeah, little rocks. Little kind of interior to the river, you know? Like maybe I should have a different coloured riverbank. And yeah, the odd tree just in the water. And yeah, like basically little tufts of grass. Little patches. Kind of off the farms where like it's just a bit wilder. A few more little trees. Little trees. Little bushes. Little stones. Just kind of dotted along to make it look natural. Little tufts of grass, bits of stone just kind of throughout the bit, and that will kind of start to make it quite beautiful, I think. And we kind of just have to do that throughout, like some of these areas that are like less used. Can just load that with forest. And then down here, the kind of dark evil bit. But I think I just kind of... Yeah, I would call that progress. I think if you put this side by side with how it started in the beginning of the day, I think it's a big improvement. All right, so yeah, that's enough for the stream, I think. Thanks very much. everyone who joined. I really appreciate that. It's a decent enough turnout for non-programming streams, so thanks for that. And I'll be back tomorrow, if not at 9 o'clock, then at 1 o'clock. But I'll be back tomorrow either way. So cheers, have a good one. Bye.